the word on the grapevine is Keith Thurman could be facing Robert Guerrero later on this year. And apparently Richard Schaefer's been asked about this, and he says that it's a pretty strong possibility that this fight will happen, as I say, later on this year. So I just want to put my cards on the table right here, right now. Because, normally with fights, I like to analyze them very, very deeply and look at footage and all these kind of things. But I think I've seen enough of both of these two fighters to just put my cards on the table right here, right now, without looking at anything else extra. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think Keith Thurman is going to stop Robert Guerrero. All right, I think he's going to be the first man to stop Robert Guerrero. I don't see Guerrero beating Keith Thurman. I don't see it. I think Guerrero is overrated. Some people say Guerrero's underrated. I don't think he's underrated at all. I think he's overrated. I think when he was built up to be the next challenger for Floyd Mayweather, I've never seen a guy get as overrated as Robert Guerrero was for quite some time. People really believe that this guy could beat Mayweather. I know TG1 thought Guerrero had a serious chance of beating Mayweather. I mean, my God, Guerrero was a guy who got slapped around by Orlando Salido. This guy got slapped around by Orlando Salido when he stepped up to welterweight and fought Selcock Aiden. A lot of people thought that he actually lost that fight to Selcock Aiden. And then after, a couple fights later, Aiden fought Soto Karass, and Karass beat Aiden much more convincingly than Robert Guerrero did. And we all know that Soto Karass is just a journeyman. So I wasn't impressed with Guerrero's victory, in inverted commas. I wasn't impressed with his victory over Selcock Aiden. I thought he barely scraped by Aiden. I thought his defense was terrible in that fight. And then he fought Andre Berto. We all know Berto's the way to get a title shot at Mayweather, it seems. Go and beat up Andre Berto and you'll get a title shot against Mayweather. And against Andre Berto, he won the fight, definitely, convincingly, but he still got hit a hell of a lot. His defense was terrible again. Terrible, terrible defense. Was getting hit with all kinds of clean punches. And it's lucky that Guerrero does have a chin, because he could have been in serious problems in that Berto fight if he didn't have a chin. But against Keith Thurman, I just think Thurman is too powerful. I think Thurman's got good movement. I just think he's too big for Robert Guerrero. I know I thought the same thing about Andre Berto, to be honest. I thought Andre Berto might be too big for Robert Guerrero, but they've been lying about Andre Berto's height for quite some time now. Andre Berto was billed as being, I think, 5'8" or 5'9" for a long time, but in reality, he's closer to 5'5", 5'6". He's actually a really little guy, and I was actually surprised by how much bigger Guerrero was in the ring against Andre Berto. I was surprised how much bigger he looked than Andre Berto. So that's one thing I kind of didn't anticipate in the Berto fight. But against Keith Thurman, we know Thurman is legit welterweight. We know that he's not a little midget like Andre Berto. We know that he has skills. He's not a mindless, kind of fighter like Berto is. He showed a lot of poise. He showed a lot of skill, patience, tactical awareness in his last fight against Chavez. And I actually think Chavez is better than Robert Guerrero. That's how I feel. I think Chavez is better than Robert Guerrero. I think he's a better puncher. I think he's a better counter puncher. And yeah, I just see Keith Thurman stopping Robert Guerrero probably around the ninth round, maybe 9th, 10th round. I see him stopping Guerrero because Thurman is a guy who likes knockouts. I've seen him against southpaws. I've seen him deal with southpaws very effectively. And a guy like Guerrero, who's as small as he is, I think he's going to have serious problems with Keith Thurman's punching power. And I think Thurman's going to stop him around the 9th or 10th round. That's how I feel. So that's a prediction right there. I don't really have to think too much about this one because I've seen both guys fight quite a lot of times. And I've seen them both fairly recently. I've seen Thurman against southpaws. I've seen Guerrero against welterweights. I've seen him against, fast guys, puncher. I've seen what I need to see, basically. And I'm picking, like I say, Thurman to stop Robert Guerrero if this fight goes ahead around the 9th or 10th round. So yeah, we'll see if the fight actually does take place, but if it does, my prediction's right there. So yeah, let me know how you feel about this fight. I know a lot of people see this fight as a toss-up. I completely do not see it as a toss-up. I see a clear winner in this fight, and that's definitely going to be Keith Thurman in my eyes. So yeah, leave your comments in the comment section below. This is Hatman. I'm out.